Yeah, hi there. And these comments, I'm going to just use the first letter of your name, M. I'm taking a look at your essay right now. Alright, so let's see. Recently people were informed. Usually we don't put A, just say we're informed. Good news that a new cinema, need to capitalize because not a prop noun, so that a new cinema will be built in my neighborhood. If that happens, our neighborhood will earn several benefits such as watching movies, you want to put S here, easier than before, increasing our relationships, zone in the neighborhood, probably say this, and you have leaving, but I think you want to say and living in a safer place. Say, first of all, having a movie theater in the neighborhood will let, you put let customers. Usually when we use let, you use the base form, not the infinitive after that verb. When you say are used to, you have to put ing here. So neighbors are used to spending lots of time in order to have a chance to watch a movie. This doesn't really connect. What are we trying? Since the nearest theater is 40 minutes far from the neighborhood, you don't need a comma here. Just put since the nearest theater is 40 minutes, just put from the neighborhood. If one has 2 hours free, he wouldn't even think about going that far to enjoy watching a movie. I want to make this a little more formal. However, after being open, you can't do that. The only way you can reduce this adverb clause is if the two subjects are the same, but you have to put this after. So after the movie theater is opened, so you have people will save that time spending on the way. Yeah, this is just unclear. I don't know what you're trying to say here. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to put unclear. So the question is, are you trying to say that if the movie theater is located close to the neighborhood, they will save a lot of time because they won't have to drive these longer distances? Mirror enables. Here you have to go back to the question. So I'm going to restate the question. Building a new cinema will allow neighbors building a new cinema will allow neighbors almost weekly. You can just say to have a wonderful environment to leave. See, if you change it to a totally different word, that really causes trouble with your writing. You have to make sure you have the right word here. And once you say not only, you have to change the word order here. For example, you'll say not only will people know each other, but children will also How about get to know? Not only will people know each other, but children will also get to know neighbors. Which will help them distinguish neighbors from strangers. So we have, see, so you're not, part of your difficulty here, you have some grammar issues in terms of trying to structure ideas, but sometimes too, some of the meaning of the vocabulary and the grammar you use results in unclear ideas. See, not only will people know each other, but children will also get to know neighbors, will help them to distinguish neighbors from strangers. How about, we'll put cause effect here, hence creating a safer environment. In fact, children will have new friends playing with them, which will increase because you're using future. So children will have new friends playing with them, which will increase their communication skills, along with earning, maybe developing so along with developing self-confidence. You want to use a noun here, not the adjective. It's a good example though. I like what you're saying here, and that improves relationships. But then if you look back at your thesis, you have increasing our relationship with others in the community. All right, let's go to the next one. You say, moreover, you probably need, I think you need a topic sentence here. You might say, lastly, so lastly, building a new movie theater will create a safer environment for the neighborhood. So then you have this next sentence. Any movie theater will not close before midnight, which might, once you say might, you have to use the base form of the verb, which might bother some people, but actually it will create a safer environment. You said since before, right? How about in as this is kind of like cause effect. Let me check spell check for a second here. This gives you a little bit more formal writing, so actually it will create a safer environment in as much as having lots of movie watchers at midnight will force police officers. You have offices, so you Your spell check is changing the words, and that's not going to help you communicate clearly. When you want to say officer, you don't want to say office. That's a totally different word. Or if you say live versus leave, again, you have to be careful. That's part of your job as a writer. When you get to the end of your essay, you have to read through that to make sure that you have all the correct versions of the words that you're using. But actually, it will create a safer environment, in as much as having lots of movie watchers at midnight will force police officers to secure the whole area in order to avoid any crimes that might happen. Neighbors and see, again, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say here. Maybe neighbors who are awake, maybe? Neighbors who are awake at night coming back from that store on the corner. Or from job traveling. Will not bother anyone. Worrying about his family. Now here, to avoid this comma splice, a lot of examples could happen in the neighborhood, but how does that go back to a safer environment? So again, this is unclear meaning. It isn't clear how what you're saying at the end of this paragraph relates back to what you're saying before that. All in all, movie theater will be built in the neighborhood. A movie theater, how about this? Built in the neighborhood, and then you can get rid of this. A movie theater built in the neighborhood will make it how about just say, will bring, how about neighbors, word order problem, will bring neighbors closer together. This is a parallel structure problem here. You got will bring, having fun, and create. Can't do that. You got to keep everything balanced. So a movie theater built in the neighborhood will bring neighbors together. We'll create a safe place. How about just say for residents? I think we got it. So these are some changes I would make to the essay that you wrote here. So you say, recently people were informed good news that a new cinema will be built in my neighborhood. If that happens, our neighborhood will earn several benefits, such as watching movies easier than before, increasing our relationship with others in the neighborhood, and living in a safer place. First of all, having a movie theater in the neighborhood will let customers save some time. Neighbors are used to spending lots of time in order to have a chance to watch a movie, since the nearest theater is 40 minutes from the neighborhood. If one has 2 hours free, he wouldn't even think about going that far to enjoy a new movie, to enjoy watching. However, after the new movie theater is open, people will save that time spending on the way. So again, it wasn't exactly clear what you're saying in that last sentence. In addition, building a new cinema will allow neighbors almost weekly to have a wonderful environment to live in. Not only will people know each other, but children will also get to know neighbors, which will help them to distinguish neighbors from strangers, hence creating a safer environment. In fact, children will have new friends playing with them, which will increase their communication skills along with developing self-confidence. Then you have lastly, building a new movie theater would create a safer environment for the neighborhood. Any movie theater will not close before midnight, which might bother some people, but actually it will create a safer environment in as much as having lots of movie watchers at midnight will force police officers to secure the whole area in order to avoid any crimes that might happen. Neighbors who are awake at night coming back from the store on the corner or from job tribe will not bother anyone by worrying about his family. A lot of examples could happen in the neighborhood here. So maybe put a semicolon here. But again, this last sentence is just unclear what you're trying to do. So all in all, a new movie theater built in the neighborhood will bring neighbors closer together, will create a fun environment for all, and will create a safe place for its residents. The only problem with your conclusion here is you have to look at what you did in the beginning and try to restate those points. So in the beginning you're saying that it's convenience. So having a movie theater is convenient to have it located near the neighborhood. It improves relationships and creates a safer environment. So you're pretty close there, other than that second idea. I'm not exactly sure how this idea, you probably have to more specifically tie it back to what you say. Alright, now let's talk about your score. Not that good, believe it or not. You got a lot of problems right now, so you have to deal with a lot of vocabulary and language issues, sentence structure issues. So sometimes it's not easy to understand what you're saying. So right here, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 5, or 17 points out of 30 on this practice test. Now, for the purposes of our class, a 2.5 puts you at 70% on your writing skills. So what you want to do is, I got 2 recommendations for you. You can see, even in structuring your topic sentences, I've made some changes to show you how you can organize your ideas a little bit better. But I recommend go to vocabulary lesson number 3, and then also you need to start going through the grammar part of my course. You need to really develop, I think, a little bit better control over your grammar, and that's going to help you to communicate more clearly. So I'm not going to recommend a specific lesson, but I do think what you can do first of all is take the pretest. Take the pretest first, and that'll tell you what your specific problems are and where you need to focus your studies. Alright, anyway, thank you very much for completing the writing assignment.